let's all go on mute so that just in case, it starts kicking me off because somebody else tries to talk. There we go. Because that's what happened to us the last time, and it just kept kicking me off. But I do have, Diane, I do have you, so I can still hear you. If I get kicked off again or I stop recording, I'll just listen for your call. So it's a couple minutes before, but I'm going to at least start making the cording. And this is our cute ornament that Tracy sent to me, asking me to help her because it definitely was not the way she wanted it. And I am going to enable the chat. Hold on, it's show chat. Is that what it's going to do? I'm trying to get it to show me the chat so that if you guys have a question, I can answer it. It appears that this was meant to be a flat back with a puffed front. Yeah, Susan, I record all of my things. That's why it's saying recording on. So, and Susan, am I correct in saying that this is supposed to have, or no, Tracy, that this is supposed to have a puffed front and a flat back? Is that what you requested the finisher? While you're typing your response, I am going to that's from Diane. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have anybody like trying to get a hold of me. Hold on a second. I have the instructions from Tracy. Okay. Oh, okay. So yes, it's puffed front, flat back. Okay. And this is the other piece that she got back from her, and it's obvious to me. I can literally feel that she used poster board inside of this, or just some really flimsy cardboard. So I'm gonna make the cording in case anybody else is, meandering in for a minute. Now I wanted to show you these little spools. You can get these at Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and they're pearl cotton, and I think this says it's an 8, so it's thinner than the 5, but you just use a little bit more. I mean, if you want to, if you have something that's super long. So I think this is very, very interesting when I start looking at this. Let me see. Okay. It's tough because it wants to do low-level compensation. So this person, I've lost my dowel needle. What did I do with it? The person that finished this has used, oh, there it is, has married the cording on the side, which I find very, very interesting. Yeah, curiosity's getting the better of me. So I'm just going to dig in and take a look at what we have going on. So when you're disassembling, keep all knife work to the back side. And I'm just looking. It's obvious she sewed it on with black thread. Okay. She has put some glue in here, which to me, because of the color of it, I'm guessing it's the Eileen's. Okay. And we're just going to work. I mean, you guys have seen me do shaped ornaments and stuff enough. Really, what you're here to learn is kind of how... Ooh, I'm steaming up your camera. I'm so sorry. There we go. There. A little bit of steam, soften that right up. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I thought she sewed it on, but
a lot of glue.
you know, I think the biggest thing is that she maybe, yeah, she did all glue, and it's definitely not the glue that I use, but it does look like she sewed it, but potentially she sewed it afterwards because she didn't get the results maybe that she thought she would. It didn't hold it, so she tried to feather it in after. I don't know, because that's really in there. Or vice versa. I'm not quite sure. Okay. So here's her end and start for that cording. It's always very interesting when you open something up that somebody else did. Okay, I'm kind of, you're going to have to watch the other this camera, because I don't want to fog up the camera for you guys. Come on. I think I need more water. Okay, come on. There we go.
Well, there's an interesting tip right there. So when it's glued, you use steam to soften it,
Correct.
to work around it.
Correct. It softens most all of them up.
Okay.
And you can't be afraid to give it a little yank. I know it's terrifying when it's your piece, but I'm just sliding my blade in. I don't care about the back. I'm just caring about the front, and I don't want to yank too hard because she has it's an open stitch with kind of long decorative stitches, and I'm afraid if I yank indiscriminately, I might grab one of those stitches. You can also, the other thing that I do is without hitting the stitch, as you come along, you want to, if it looks like it's glue that's kind of stretching, cut the fibers of the cording, so even if you leave a little bit of the black behind, we can turn that under. We just don't want to lose the stitching, the decorative stitch along the edge, or pull it so that the rest of the stitches follow suit and they get all misaligned. Cording is typically the hardest part. So you can see there's 2 rows that are unburied. They're definitely not wrapped around tight enough. So yeah. So we had puckering here in the corner because the cardboard that's inside just crumbled under the weight and pressure of the stuffing. And Tracy, somebody messaged you and asked if you sent it to a shop or to an individual. I believe she sent it to somebody that was that she found on Instagram or advertised, put it out there that they were doing finishing on Facebook, like through Needlepoint Nation, some of those people. So she did hand sewing onto the backing. And it looks like she stuffed it like it is a pillow, thus creating our uber puffy, breaking down our cardboard backing. Okay. That glue has taken a really good hold, so we're going to, or she machine sewed part of this. So let's just keep. So she's sewing machined the interior. Oh, look at no waste canvas left on that side. This is going to be fun.
It does look just like it was done as if a pillow.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, and it does look like, oh my goodness. All right. Oh, how interesting. What is this? Okay, let's get the fabric off of this. And I don't have a problem with people, doing things in a different way. Everybody does things concept of how things should be done. What I do think is interesting, I just reading that Tracy said she gave it to a cross stitch shop whose finisher also did needlepoint ornaments. Gee, if I was someone who had a cross stitch piece done this way, I don't think I would be happy. But not going there. I would be doing it myself.
Because cross stitch has even less substance.
Exactly. This would be much like just
wow.
so the whole reason why they stitched around wasn't to save the waste canvas, it was to hold this lovely stuff in place. I can't even get it, some of it. Come on, there we go. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to kind of share a couple stories that I had as far as things that I've gotten in. Usually it's always interesting because a lot of times when I get things that come in, it's not necessarily because they need to be redone because of the quality. Sometimes it's because somebody put the wrong date on the back for the monogramming and they're like, oh, please, can you try to fix this for me? And then you open up and you see how other people do things. And one in particular that I had during before the 2020 Christmas was from a professional. I know the person who did it. Unfortunately, she has since passed away, and they didn't want to bother her. She was sick at the time. Didn't know that the monogram was wrong. So, and she used some things to try to make the finishing a little easier for her. But when I opened it up, I was astonished that there was a lot of glue, a lot. And there was a double-faced industrial sticky padding, so you could just stick it to the mat board, and then she stuck the needle point to, because it was double-sided sticky, she put it to the back of the needle point and then she wrapped it around. Well, by doing that, when she went to turn over the sides, not all the waste canvas went around. And I wasn't gonna redo that, but I couldn't hide the waste canvas, and the customer had seen it and was really not happy with how it appeared, and it really was an attempt for her to still do the finishing for her customers that she cared about, but it really wasn't a good option. It was easier for her, but oh my goodness, it was so difficult to attempt to get it apart. Steam, number one thing that helped, and it went back together just fine. So my point of telling you this story is just because it can be terrifying when you open it up, don't panic. It's okay. You can still save your peace. Steam really was my best friend with that. Oddly enough, with that one, I got lucky because it was a basket weave all. So it didn't have any fancy stitches or things like that to have to try to work around. And I was able to, I took a pressing cloth and doubled it over, which is just like muslin. And then I basically held it right on, so close to the needle point so it would really push through. And that was the only saving grace for that particular ornament. There was a stand-up that CBK used to send out in its trunk shows, and it was weighted, and it might have even had feet, but it was a little bit older, and it was just a styrofoam center. It had these weird little bits of metal coming out of it, and so Christine asked me to look at it and, can you figure out what the heck is going on with it? And when I opened it up, the person that was the finisher, the weight that they were using, and I only know this because my dad was a welder, was bits from when somebody welds metal. It's all the metal shards that come off, flying off, all the little bits that don't stick, for lack of a better word. So they were going in and sweeping up somebody's workshop, putting it in a baggie, and then putting it in the voids. But it was shipped so many times that the baggie failed because it was moving and like a maraca in there. And so when I was trying to take it apart, I had so much metal. It wasn't even shavings. It was this weird gray, brown stuff that was getting all over me. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is this a toxic chemical coming off of this thing? Ugh. But yeah, somebody filled that void instead of using part of a brick, using the bolts. That's another reason why I use the bolts as a weight. And yeah, but my favorite redo story is about a backgammon board. And the backgammon board, I finished it, I brought it in, and about 2 weeks later, the woman brought it back into the shop and said, the finisher didn't do this right, and, look, it's all warped and rippled, and the store said, well, it looks like some liquid's been spilled on it. And she said, oh, no, my grandson would never do that. He promised he would never, drink or, nothing. No, that's not it. And I said, oh, well, that I came in and they said, well, she said, I said, that's fine. I'll look at it. So I opened it up and I couldn't help myself. I started to laugh because you could see that's by the foam core that I had used inside that someone had spilled a clear liquid on it, whether it was soda or it was water. I don't know. but it had something spilled on it. So I'm taking all of these little bits of thread out, just trying to get this all nice and cleaned up. Hi. Oh my God. All right. Tell them I'll be right there. Hold on. Oh my gosh.
Recording in progress.
It depends on the customer. Like I did a piece that was purple and she wanted a gold lame on the back. There you go, Kelly. We got you back.
Yeah, I'm trying to
But you're
unmute.
muted, hon.
I know, I'm trying. There we go.
There you go, babe.
Oh my gosh. Seriously.
It's okay. Happens.
Killing me. So, all right, I'm still spotlighted. For as much as I love talking to you guys, I don't know what's going on with my internet or what it is, but we'll keep you guys on mute. Let me pull up my chat so I can try to. Hello. Okay. Okay. So, I don't know how much of that story you guys heard when you lost me. So, the lady gave me the backgammon board. It had obviously had water on it. When I opened it up, I could see that the water was on the foam core on the interior. And someone had tried to re-stick it into the board using glitter glue. Pink glitter glue. So basically, the person that she had given it to, the young person, had tried to, fix the gift that his grandma had given him by using glitter glue. So I took all the little glitter glue schniblets and bagged them up and the board and said, not that I want to get anybody in trouble, but unfortunately I don't use pink glitter glue. So, all right. We're going to take a second and we're going to steam this out. And try to just do a little hand blocking. We don't need to do a lot or finger blocking, because it didn't become very misshapen or anything like that. But let's just try to flatten it out, because we need to get our shape from this piece. Just gonna kind of keep and see, remember that ripple? No dart. This is why things ripple, is because They didn't dart it. They tried to just roll it over. They tried to just do straight cuts in. And it doesn't work to do that. All right. At least not on curvy spots. It's really funny, Chris. I did not hear your text. What was that noise? Oh, never mind. I see why. So we're just going to dart our curved areas. I'm trying to take all the little threads out, but I'm also not going to go too nuts about it. I do want to look at this though. Give me a second. So they put a piece of interfacing, the kind that is the kind of webbing kind. It's not fusible. And they glued it on the edge this way. And this is just this is a box that they cut up because it's plainish cardboard on one side and interesting. Maybe it is a form of fusible that whomever put on here. So yeah, the support wasn't ever going to happen with this, unfortunately. It wasn't ever going to be able to. Hold up to stuffing it like that. And that doesn't even feel like cereal box kind of cardboard. That feels so thin. Sometimes what I do with pieces that are this shape is instead of using the way I do it, I'm about to do it, where I take the shape from the piece, I will go on to my computer and I'll go into my Publisher program, Microsoft Publisher, and I will open up the shape maker on that and put in the dimensions, and so that it is basically exactly what I want. But since this is going to be puffed, I think we can get away with following our edges on this. I do that for rounded, straight edge. Make sure that they're totally, and we will definitely make sure that this is the correct shape as far as I've got to roll all that glue under, okay? And when we do this, we can't steam it the same way we usually do, where I actually put it down on it because I don't want that junk on my iron. So we're going to steam it and roll it in. And make sure that that's all down. If I feel that I can't get the shape that I want, I'll do I think I can turn on screen sharing, and I'll go on to my computer program and I will make the shape. And thankfully my other class is not that close. So we would have a repeat of the other Saturday where I had them stacked up too close together and ran over. So it's all about making sure that you're going to roll over for your shape and that you're not going to see any of the cording leftovers stuff.
If I may ask, I might have missed it at the very beginning. This piece, whoever's it was, did they not like it, or what?
Well, it was just not the quality she expected.
Yeah.
And
okay.
it had ripples, and it was not good. You could see all that glue from the cording coming through.
And she knew it could be better.
Oh, yeah. This was during the crunch when you couldn't find people to the finishing was so backed up. So she tried someone new that she saw that, this is where the pictures that we see displayed on social media are kind of deceptive in the respect that okay. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, and I can't turn off the mute for her. For some reason it just shows her not muting. So, or that I can't do that. All right. I don't know that it's everybody's going to have to go back in cuz I think I shut you all down. No, I guess not. Oh my god, this thing's being so stupid. All right, I'm assigning you. Tell everyone I'm coming back. Oh, your puppy's barking. Hello, puppy. All right.
Recording in progress.
Okay, everybody needs to. I know I'm muted. Okay, I need everyone to stay muted. If you have a question, you can type it in the chat, because for whatever reason, when somebody talks to me, it's making me freeze. So, hold on. There we go. All right. Sorry that we have to go to just typing our responses, but for whatever reason, our questions, I mean, it's not a happy camper today. So you want to get your shape by doing this. trying to so what I was talking about is how the things that we see on social media can be really deceptive as far as what their quality is. And so, we just trust that the person's going to know what the right way is to do it. And I think we've seen enough of these moments now where it's worth a shot, but send something that you don't necessarily love. Okay, so we have to put the fusible interfacing on here. And because this has already got a piece monogram on here, we have to do it a little differently. So I'm going to bring it up a little. Fusible interfacing doesn't want steam. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to pull this. I have my cutting mat on here, so it's a little precarious for keeping it where you can see it. So we're going to start on one side. If you have a piece of fabric that you've had previously monogrammed and you don't have it on, the issue is that it will create a weird little bubble in the back. So if you take a piece of fabric to a embroiderer person, make sure that you've already put your fusible interfacing on. All right. Because then you won't have a ripple issue. And I'm trying to press right around this to try to ensure it doesn't look odd. And pushing that edge down in so that the fusible is hitting. And holding. Okay. All right. I'm doing that to try to make sure that as it cools, it doesn't lift and act stupid, because it sometimes likes to bubble as it cools. All right. So yes, Tracy did send me another piece of fabric with a lovely monogram on it, so I did not have to tackle that. And I want to kind of see how it's going to behave, see if it's going to do a weird pucker or ripple. Doesn't look like it. And what's really interesting is how much more substantial this standard cotton is once you put the interfacing on there. All right, let's keep moving forward, and I'm just gonna wait. And do that other part next. So anytime we do a standard ornament, a shaped ornament, I gotta get a mechanical pencil that's not the same color as my desktop, as my wood top. Oh, oddly enough, this is just perfect. Remember that when we're doing anything with fluff in it, we have to make the piece that goes behind our needle point a little bit smaller to allow for loft to remain in our fluff. Otherwise, it'll just kind of flatten out. And even though we're doing puffy front and flat back, it's always foam core and foam core, or mat board and mat board. We don't mix the two because the foam in the foam core, if you do foam and this is really starting to make me mad. It's not you. Oh, jeez. It's like, I'm sorry. Let him know that she's trying to come back. I can't even. Yeah, right? Thank you. Oh, come on. And it's behaving so slowly that I'm clicking leave meeting. And it doesn't. Yep. Assign and leave. Come on. Alright. I have so many attendee views open. Come on. I know, right? It's like, join with audio.
Recording in progress.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with this. I am getting a recording of it, so even if you don't hear me talking, you got backup. So just remember that we have to make the interior foam core piece a little bit smaller to allow for the loft of the piece that we're doing. You know, because we have a beard and the hat, I'm going to flip it over and so to make sure I'm getting the correct thickness or, length. Since it's a mirror image, I know we're going to be okay, and I am going to look at it as I'm cutting it out to make sure that it's okay. So I need my ruler. And I am looking at if it is. This is what we're working with for the largest. Okay. We want to do I think that's about an 1/8 there. We're going to take an 1/8 off of this side. This is all to allow for the fluff. I'll make sure that this is straight across. Okay. right across there. Okay. Now, what we'll do, we'll take up this corner. Okay, it was like this, and we're going to flip that upside down to that corner, trace it there. It was like this here, so then we're going to flip it up like this to this corner. So we'll have the exact same curve on every single corner. And then, so this corner was like this. This was like this. The opposite corner is going to be tough because it's pretty close, but let's see how it looks. Not quite the same as the top one. Okay. Did that make sense to you guys? I hope so. No. Come on. Am I frozen again? No. But I can't get my... There we go. I'm just trying to bring the chat up, so if you guys have a question, I can actually... maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe that's why I'm freezing. At this point, I don't even know. Okay. There. Okay. Now we're going to turn it over and we're going to bevel it. Again, holding it between first and pinky. And we just kind of chop into it. Okay. Doesn't really, the only thing that matters this time is that we kind of just push down this very bottom edge a little because we're going to have the fluff in it. Alright, I want to take a look at this and see how it looks. There's actually think that looks really good. Hopefully I've taken enough off for the fluff. I'm going to take this and we put just a little smear so it sticks. I have like 3 pairs of scissors in this. One pair that I keep grabbing is not a happy camper. Okay. Just shaping this down because we don't want all of that fluff to compress. I bevel everything so that nothing is so thick that it compresses at the edge and gives you a hard edge. Now, if we think it's not going to fit in there, I am going to peel a layer off because, I don't know, this just gets so thick. Take it, just... And the reason why I'm even questioning it is because of that line right there, of how thick I can take it. Okay. No, I gotta take down some more. I can see it. That is fine. So the two ends are fine. But I'd like to have it remain pulpier. Okay. So I'm using the 1/8 inch mark to just line it up and shim off just the tiniest bit. All right. It took off so little that I just need to press down the edge to sort of pseudo bevel it. Okay. Woo-hoo. All right, let's see what it looks like. Pull all this open. Start. And you hold it and kind of press it up with your fingers, and you can see that it's equal all the way around. So we're going to put just a little bit at the top. Give it a second to cool. We're going to bring it around a little bit more than I usually do, just because of wanting to make sure to hide any of these little black fluffies. But also, we're pretty lucky in a certain respect that this person did not had a lot of waste canvas that was visible. Okay. All right, hold on. Leave meeting. Sign and leave.
Recording in progress.
Unmute. There I am. It must be a busy time for the internet on Cape Cod, because I have not been kicked off this much, and I'm hardwired since the very first meeting we had. Okay. So we've got the top on. We're going to put the bottom on. All these people, it's Sunday. Don't they know they're supposed to go home? And we just want to make sure that we're doing this, when we're doing this, that we're pulling all of that extra that has the black and the blue onto the back. Okay? And you will never know this happen. And you will just put it out of your mind that it ever happened. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but. So here's the case in point with when you open this up and you see this, just look at how well. You wouldn't even know that it was that shredded. You wouldn't. So don't worry about it. Now you do have to, on shredded areas such as that, this may be too long of a strip because it may be cool by the time I get down there. Do the short bits, if they're just on one side like this, do this side first, okay? Because then you aren't trying to pull this and, really wrangle this around, especially with puffing. This corner. Now you can see that this corner looks like it's not going to be happy because the curve is a little sharper, maybe. It's still okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to wait and put that on after. Okay. This time we have to do a little more pulling to get it to come around. Okay. So this time I think I'm going, instead of starting at one end, I'm going to start in the middle and get it tacked down. It's all about just seeing when you have the resistance this time, it's going to be a little different wrapping it around than the first time where you can just lay it down and go. Right? I would just like to thank you all for your patience with the video acting up. It's such a nice day here. Everybody should be at the beach and they shouldn't be using the computers and using it up. I am reheating this area because I would like to try to pull it around a little bit more so I don't have to worry about that little bit that was hanging around. Okay. Right. Pull that. I know it seems like a lot there, but so that it's the same at the top and at the bottom for shape, we're just going to take a deep breath and roll that corner under a little bit more. Pulling this around so you don't have to hide it. Now, at this point, what we always do I need to straighten something up here. I am seeing. Easy fix. So when I look at this is fine. I mean, I'm following right down the road there and right down the road there. But I want to shift the boots a little this way. They just look slightly off. I mean, not a lot, but and I feel like this, we have a little that needs to be pulled. Of course. Don't want to shred the foam core at all, so that's why we give it a quick steam and pull it up a little. Let me look at it. There. Okay. I'll put another glue stick in. And make sure it there. Okay. Okay. this point, this is where we kind of bend the edges in so that when the two pieces come together, there is not a huge gutter. So when I finish and start on a piece like this, I do it at the bottom because I don't want to see, I don't want the edge to have a place where you marry the cording. I'd say 90% of the time you cannot reuse the cording that you had come back from someplace. Just my opinion on that one, especially since this person used glue. And again, in its own place, glue is fine. Not when you are definitely not expecting it like that. Trying to take it apart definitely is much more difficult. Alright, so as we go around this, we want to angle our pencil in. We barely have any lead out on that. And we angle it in because we don't want the back piece to be too far away from the front piece. And depending on your material, you could have an extra 1/16 out there, and then the cording could set funny. Always make sure to mark which way is up. I think I am done with my iron, so I'm going to go ahead and move my mat up. And because this top piece is not going to be back piece is not going to be, oh my goodness, fluff. We want to make sure that our back edge is straight when there's a straight edge on the side like this has. Especially with a fabric that's a little thin. And let's move you in and pull it up a little. Because what happens is, even though we're going to be using a little bit of batting there, we still don't want it to be obvious that we didn't use a straight edge. Okay. Since this top is curved, oop, you can kind of see the swing arm there, huh? Just go ahead. Cut it in. Yay! I'm going to bevel the back side. Hello! Hold on. Leave meeting. Come on. Getting to be old hat at this. Oh my gosh, right.
Recording in progress.
Okay. My computer doesn't want it. There we go. So we're beveling the back edge because we want it to have just a really nice little finished touch. We also don't want to fight trying to cover that giant flat area. Okay, so now I don't think we. Ooh. Trying to shut off my iron because it's making my lights click on and off, kind of flicker. Alright, so I'm just taking off this edge after I have beveled it because you will feel it through fabric that's on the back. And same thing with what I'm about to do. When I put this on, make sure to, I'm going to do it this way because I know I was cutting it close before. And rub it down or you'll feel the glue through the back of the fabric and through the felt. Somebody asked me yesterday about why do I do the 65-35 felt with the wool in it. It really is just the texture of it is different. The full polyester is a different thickness and it's a different I don't know, I just like the way it is anymore. If you don't see a difference in it, use what you want. And you can also use, there's like cotton batting that's very thin. I like this. It's not a rule, but I'm kind of a wool person, so anything that has a little bit of it in it, I guess, is better to me. Okay. Sometimes if I'm being very compulsive, I'll try to bevel this edge, but it's fine. You really don't need to go that nuts. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to figure out where center is for our backing. And typically what I do, so this is a 7 3/4 inches high. So if I do 4 above, 4 below, I do this thing where I basically eyeball it. And it's about 3 inches. Okay. Now this is basically an inch across. Yes, it is. So that side of the O. So if I do 2 inches from the center of the O. I like the lines this way. Don't laugh. To line everything up. All right. Excuse me. I need to put my extra special reading glasses on to try to see. Usually I can see the letters a little easier through because they don't have interfacing covering it. But if I do 2 inches from that side of the 0, should be pretty close. You have to be careful doing marking on your fabric on the back if you're using a velveteen. You could scar it down the back just by drawing a line like that. Where's my other line? I lost my line on this side. Alright. There's that. There's the 0. Alright, we're right on it. So this is from the T. Alright. I can see that this is a little bigger. Not by much. So I want to make sure. And 7 3/4. So if we go 4 from the bottom. And 4 from the top. We can eyeball it. I know, it's like the most boring part. So when we lay this on, need to take the hair of that off. And then we need to come down. Hi. For as much as I love ya. No, honey, no. go. Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be something ridiculous going on that I've had to restart this so many times.
Recording in progress.
So, there's actually a charity bike race, and it's like the it's not the Special Olympics, but it's one that the Shrivers put on. And see, it's saying my internet's unstable. Wonderful. So, why is my desktop audio on? Okay. So, I'm not surprised that we're having cable issues, because we do have an influx of so many more people, is all I'm gonna guess. So, alright, we're almost done, guys. We are. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead. I actually have to come down and dart this one before I do it. It's okay. I'm going to try to line those dots up on the side. And the reason I'm doing it this way, doing this side and then this side, is because I'm hoping that if it looks a little off vertically, I can shift it down a little. I can pull it one way or the other, just that slight amount that it might need. I actually can tell by the way those lines were that we did need to. Yes. All right. maybe by tonight everybody will have calmed down and it won't mess up my star one. Oh, Cindy, you're okay. I have a recording. We've been intermittent cutting out a lot, so we're just asking everyone to stay on mute because I am just having so many issues. No worries, Cindy. We'll let you. We'll send them along and. Okay. So now we just start dirt. You might lose me again. It's unstable. So this is kind of another chance that you have to shift. Like I'm going to pull this fabric on this side because even though we have dots to follow on this fabric, doesn't mean, embroidery machines are tough to have everything do perfectly even and stuff shifts and yeah. So we will just pull the fabric up on that side a little bit and we will be good. Kind of all of these little tricks that you can do to try to help. Because see, it's perfectly straight this way, but this T drops a little bit. So I think if that's our biggest flaw, I think we're okay. You know what I might have to do? Not that it would help, I don't think, since I'm directly hardwired. I was thinking maybe if I did a mobile hotspot on my phone it would help as well, but I don't think it would when it's like hardwired. Okay, woohoo! Oh, look at that. Sorry, that's my dog talking voice. It's the way I talk to my dog. Now we're pinching this and we're curling it, just rolling that edge over. You can do this with mat board as well. Just make sure to bevel the edge. It'll help bring those together. That's all part of why we bevel the edge as well. It just brings that over just a tiny bit and smooth. Okay, yay! Now we're just gonna decide, okay, we know we're going to be finishing here at the bottom. We're going to be marrying everything together. So, and we're going to be sticking cords in at either point here. So we're going to do a line across the top. We're going to come down. You know, maybe what I should be doing, ooh, it'll go in, don't worry, is going through my videos and cutting out the sections where I have to marry cording together and just make a compilation video of all of the times where we're marrying everything together. Ooh, that looks nice. Now you're going to see I got a little bit of glue there. We're going to get that off. Don't worry. That's because when I was putting glue on the back, I accidentally on the side. But you won't even see that once we get it around. So, if you ever get a little bit of hot glue on something, drip, smear. Smears are the worst. So if it drips, do not try to pick it off right away. Let it set up, and then you can come back in and you can usually pick it right off like that. But here's another trick. And that spot will come off, but I don't want to take a chance of marring the fabric. Put your dowel needle tip into the material and just kind of pull. And it'll pull that right in. But like I said, not even going to see it, because when we put the cording on, I hope this is what you were hoping for, Tracy. I think it probably is. Okay. Let's make some cording. I totally understand if you don't want to hang about and watch me sew this round and round and round, because it is quite the boring part. And it looks like our old cording. Let's see. Please center back, cording for main ornament. And you know, Tracy, I wouldn't do by color on this because you have such, I'm just reading over her notes, because of the fancy stitching. I think it needs to just blend in with the back. The rooster, he's a different story. We're going to do something fun on him. I have some excellent colors for him. And we're going to do 10 and 10. It's a little smaller than the main ornament, but I think it'll be too thick on this if we do 14 and 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. And 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Also, Tracy, please type me a message and tell me if you want, do you want the cord the way she had it, like hanger style, or do you want the loop at the top? And did you want bows or no bows? Because that is not something that we had talked about. Hopefully you're still here. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, my goodness. And we're going to get just putting my vise on my table. And I don't even know if Tracy, just says Tracy's here. All right, so I've tied the fishing line around the top. I'm looking around for my tape. And usually it's like right in front of my face. Nope. Great. Sorry, guys. Okay. When all else fails, hi. So, I've lost my tape. Couldn't have happened at a better time. I'm like walking around going, I can't find my tape. So, it's not
we
that.
lost you as you got up, so there
Oh, yay. All right. Leave meeting, assign and leave. You gonna do it? Thank you. All right. I'm at like 10 times now. I'm keeping track by how many times we've ended our conversation. Jeez.
Sorry.
No,
Well,
no.
that's a good way to keep track.
Right?
Recording in progress.
Okay. So, what I was about to say was, okay, when all else fails, punt. So we're going to, oh, hold on. I gotta spotlight myself for everyone. There we go. I'm gonna put some hot glue on there. Trying to keep my eyeball out for it. My roll of tape. And I don't like doing it this way, but I don't have a choice. Because I don't like doing it this way, because I don't like sticking my tack through the glue. But it works, so we don't mind. There are a bunch of times where I've done this and I've found my tape under my pin cushion. So we're twisting everything clockwise. And oh, it's egg timing again. Okay, Tracy, I don't know if I know you have to do it by chat, but do you want a standard hanger or do you want the kind that it had, which was the corner to corner kind? Because you haven't messaged me back about that. You might be away from your computer at the moment. I'm just gonna keep making cording using hot glue at the end. Just making sure it hits everybody. It's funny, you would think, it's Cape Cod, it's close to Boston, the internet's not going to be, no. The problem with it is that it's just like you can, anywhere on the Cape, because they don't want to have the cell towers up, you lose signal all the time. It's very annoying. Especially over by where I used to live, is the Air Force Base, or the Coast Guard Air Force Base. Turning to the right, clockwise with this. We're about to put them together. And it's a huge dead spot over there because the airplanes coming in can't have the cell towers. So, yeah. You would think, but not so much. The other reason I don't like doing it with hot glue is I don't want to hurt myself. Alright, so now we're twisting it counterclockwise, back to the left. One tick, everyone. I want to take a second and Oh, okay, so you did message me on chat. Okay, sorry. I personally, there you go. I think this different will be just fine. Yes. So personally, the only time I use the corner to corner hanger is when you want it over a door hanger. I do not have a problem, but so this is why I thought having it corner to corner, this might be something you were going to put on a door handle as a decoration that way. But if this is for a tree, I would do the standard. And Tracy, also, do you want a bow? Because it did not come up on the message. Are we doing a bow for this or not? And since we're doing it in a different way, it's still okay that we started at the top and ended at the top. It won't make a difference when we get to the bottom. There's this. I think I'm going to guess that you probably don't want a bow because it didn't have a bow, but also because this little bow at the top, you don't want to bury it. But, and Diane, you can message me if I can't, if she's texting you. No bow. Okay, I was right. Your autocorrect just does not want to type bow. Okay. Now we're going to bring this and bring it in because we're going to do the cord. That is so funny. I wonder if it's this silly chat that is being an issue. Get rid of it. It'll go away. So what I'm going to do is I like to make the so for finishes that are not an ornament, where do I like to marry the cording? At the bottom, always. Always the bottom. Pillows, the bottom. Puffy stand-ups, the bottom. I just want to double check that this is going to be a long enough cord, or if I have to do another short cord. Just double checking before I get too far into it. You know, it's interesting because when you have the, oh heck yeah, look at that, plenty of cording. Typically you can get a small sign, or there's quite a few things you can get out of it. So we're going to do, I'm only going to do about a 3-inch cording. 1, 2, 3. Like eyeglass cases, you begin them and start them at the top. 90% of that. But there was a weird little one that I did that I ended up having to do it on the side because it was a point at the bottom. If at all possible, you want to begin them and end them in a very discreet place so that it's not, you know, just like glaringly obvious. I just feel like this person that did this particular one, it's very difficult for them because black on black or any kind of solid color cording, you really should be able to slide that in parallel to your seam and not see it. Okay, gotta knot this off again. I'm trying to think of something else that requires marrying that is different than just bottom, bottom, bottom. But there are, you know, diamond kind of ornaments, pointy bottom. Got to do it on the side, bottom side if you can. Hi. Say, she wants what?
2.5-inch loop.
Okay. And the video stopped?
The recording stopped. Oh, yes. Just as you were tying off the loop.
Okay. Thank you. Close. Leave. Leave. Assign and leave. Come on. 20 steps later.
She also asked a minute ago if it was 10 strands you used. I didn't answer, but
Yeah, it's 10 and 10.
yeah, 10 and 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't even like pop back up. Open Zoom meeting.
Recording in progress.
Okay. And unmute. And spotlight. And alright. I'm gonna keep good enough. Okay, so 2.5. Gotcha. That's fine. Only one I can still go ahead and no, I'll wait. There. Okay. One, 2 and a half. Okay. I'm just gonna have Diane up on my screen so that if anybody has any text questions. Diane, I hope that you are on the STAR class tonight, or Chris, so that or I'll have to assign somebody. Don't know what that means. Somebody. Okay, stop. Well, this is what the 2-inch will look like. And the drop on it. Okay. And hold on, I'm going to put them right next to each other. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So overall, the loop, if you had it, does this make sense? 3-inch. I think it just depends on how far down the tree, because you're also going to have a hook. So it just is which one you think will look better. I mean, it's really not that significant. So that one is kind of up to you. Oh. I think that I would probably go with the 3 because proportionally it looks like this one might be a little too small for the length, just visually. But again, this makes it a, so with the 2.5, it'll hang, of course there's no numbers on the side of my mat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5. And then this would make it an 11-inch. Sometimes you just gotta see it, you know? You gotta see it. And I used to have, the person I do most of my stuff for, she used to have me do like 4-inch. It's like, oh, that looks so long. But then some customers started sending them back saying they only wanted 3. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And yeah. They just looked much better. All right. Humbug. Get up there. Okay. And now we're going to mash some hot glue in there. And we do this to ensure that when we put it in with our dowel needle, that it stays where we want it to stay. And alright. So don't usually use my big needle, but because we have such a long haul to go around this, we are using the big needle. You know, little ornaments. I'm gonna pull it this way. So I'm gonna bring it over just beyond the half so that afterwards, if I need to adjust it, I can push it down in to make sure it's centered. And actually, that is a 2-inch needle that I just pulled out. And we're gonna get sewing some cording. Sorry, this is running over everyone. I think the internet issues are just lengthening our class. Okay. Because it's so long, I gotta kind of put it tall. I gotta put it on my knee. All right. Hello. All right. Leave. I'm sorry, what?
I said I don't dare take the bathroom break.
I'm so sorry. I can't even pee thanks to you. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, come on. This is just ridiculous.
You're back.
Recording in progress.
I just cannot. I just cannot believe this. Oh, goodbye. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Almost done, guys. So into the fabric, we're starting our ladder stitch. Okay, out through the fabric. across. Bringing it back into our cording. Okay, into our needle point. Up. Out the material. Same thing, into the needle point, up through the material, and try to keep it on the inside of the gutter. Oh, we lost Judy, I think. Don't blame her. Back a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is edit the videos since it's recording my studio. Oh yeah, I'm going to definitely be editing that out. Okay, there. Does not feel good when it slides off and hits. Doesn't hit the leather pad. Back of that needle slides right up in your finger. I just saw a flicker. Hope I don't lose you guys. have to stop. Like, I'm going to start stitching the cording on. Can you see these little hole lines? I don't know. You see it? It's pulling the fabric. I want to minimize the amount of pull lines that are going to occur, because it appears as though this fabric has it's not black weave, it's like printed on black and the void left the white, so there's a little white as you pull it. So what I'm going to do is, I still want to make sure that, you know, that the back is attached properly and doesn't have any issues for longevity of staying together. So like every third stitch, I'm just going to keep coming up and down through the front piece. And then, like, every second or third, I'll come up through the material so that we don't have any more of those little kind of pulley marks. You really can't, I mean, they're not obvious, but I can see it happening a tiniest bit, and so let's minimize it as much as possible. Because all we need to do is make sure we have enough stitches that we have grabbed to secure the front and the back. Okay? And that doesn't require a ton, because we do have the glue in there, and the cording will be sewn on. These are challenges that we just don't know. It's kind of like some of the cording that's made at the store is as you're sewing it on, it has like a foil or a fiber that is wrapped around a like a batting rope. You know, it's not wool, but it's kind of cotton fiber or something, you know, so then they spin the colors around it, and then when you go to sew it on, it'll separate as you're hand sewing it on, and then it exposes the white of the core that it wrapped it around. And so we just never know what we're going to get with fiber, if it's a painted on, or, you know, it's not paint, but it sort of is. Or if it is the actual fiber that has been twisted and woven which is, of course, obviously the best, because then you wouldn't see these like little white pull marks as the fabric separates. Oh dear. Can you actually see what I'm doing, or was I just off camera? Okay. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Cannot believe this is... Well, actually, I can believe it's taking us this long because we had to take it apart. And taking it apart takes time because you have to be careful. Okay, next one I'm going to grab both. let's figure out where our center is. It's funny, it's hard when you have, I mean, I can see that his nose is probably the center of his body, but then we have a bow and some things like that, so we kind of have to figure out where our center is for hanging evenly. And hold on. Nope, I was right before. It needs to. Looks right from the front. Looks pretty good from the back. Now we're going to lay this here. Two. Cut. We also glue this little knot because this little bunch of tassels. Alright. Cut. Cut. Now take this. So when I slid it in, it showed me that the twist was too big, meaning that it had folded itself back and untwisted the cord a little bit. So I'm taking it back out, putting it back in, and then we're going to pull it like that, and we're going to sew it in, and that will be it. So you always kind of pull the two ends of the cords. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. So it goes through here. I'm going to pull it. Just push that in with my finger a little. Then go in there. There. Come up again. I am going to I'm going through this. I gotta come up with a, it's not a section. I guess maybe it's a section. And then, because I want to pull this and I want to pull this towards each other, because then that eliminates any gaps. Okay. Coming across. Under the needle point, only through the needle point, pushing the canvas back, because when I put my needle through, it's going to leave a bump. Then I come back through this part of the loop cording, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of material. Okay, push it back. You just keep, anytime your needle bends, or because you're doing a directional push with it, just push it back. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Push your foam core. It'll go back. It'll stay. So I've come back through this loop strand side of the hanger. Call that little piece. Okay, so now it's in there nice and solid. I'm going to grab the back side of the needle point canvas, because actually it is up through there. I'm still gonna bump it through. I want to knot it on the back side. I don't want to knot it on the front. Gives it another strand going through again. Okay. Then I'm going to pull my tail, the last bit of my thread, through, cut it off after leaving a long lead that just disappears under the fabric. Okay. Now, because of that little bit of white, I'm going to kind of massage that fabric, and you can't see it anymore. And there it is. Look at that. Tracy, I hope that this is satisfactory. Has a nice little puff to the front. Lovely flat back. Got it centered in the back. I think that's a nice little proportion. Hanging straight. I think it's hanging straight. Okay. All right. Dare to take your mic off. Oh, where'd you go? Oh my gosh. Like, you just disappeared from my screen. Like, you were just gone. So, you can unmute if you want, and we'll give it a shot. I don't know that it'll, there you go. Alright, well everyone, you take care, and I will be getting this video up when I can. I'm going to have to go through and splice it out. So you all take care, have a good afternoon. I got to get ready and find my tape for the next class. Okay? Take care. Bye. Bye, Diane. Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.
Are you there tonight?
I am.
Yay! All right, guys. See you later if you're with me. Take care. Bye. It won't even let me end. Really? There we go.
I don't think I can do the last class alone.
Right?
Okay, I'm gonna go start dinner in between classes.
Right? That's exactly what I'm gonna go do. I'm so stressed out. I'm going home. I'm gonna go find my tape, and then I'll come back.
There you go. I'll see you in a couple hours.
All right, honey.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I cry now.
Well, it's not.
The internet was so fucked up. Oh, hold on.